Congratulations, you're the first team in the history of the NBA to come back from the 3-1 deficit and win the championship.
Cleveland! This is for you!
All of the lights
To go the blood!
crowd loving on Steph Curry.
Every kid that has ever picked up a basketball has dreamed of the same thing. Holding the Larry O'Brien trophy, confetti raining down, crowd going wild, and being called a champion by the tall, skinny, bald guy. We've always been told that greatness comes from blood, sweat, and tears, and championships are earned, not given. What if I told you this is all a big lie? What if the key to an NBA championship is the same as the key to happiness? Recently, the owner of the LA Clippers got exposed for violating the salary cap rules because he made an under-the-table deal worth almost $30 million when they signed Kawhi Leonard back in 2020. Apparently, it was part of Kawhi's demands for leaving Toronto after winning the chip there. And we all know how that turned out for the Clippers. Kawhi and Paul George achieved just as much as you and I, except they made millions doing it. This is just one of the many things that money can get you in the NBA. Literally the best player in 2019. But you can also go the legal route. The salary cap is the maximum amount of money a team can spend on players. If a team goes over it, they gotta pay a luxury tax, which is basically a fine for overspending. So if you're a rich owner, you can just not give a fuck about any of that. Like the Golden State Warriors, they paid over $170 million in luxury tax back in 2022 to keep the core of Curry, Klay, and Draymond together, while also signing other free agents like Andrew Wiggins. The result? They won the championship that year. Matter of fact, there's been plenty of times teams bought their way to a ring. During the 70s, the Lakers traded for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who just came off his third MVP, so naturally he had a sizable contract. A couple years later, they drafted Magic Johnson, who then signed the biggest deal yet at the time, a 25-year, $25 million contract extension. To put it in perspective, most players were only making around $250,000 yearly, so having both Magic and Kareem on the same team was like having LeBron and Giannis on the same payroll. How did the Lakers manage to afford that, you might ask? Well, simple. Their owner, Jerry Buss, was absolutely loaded, and also the salary cap didn't exist back then. Fun fact, the salary cap was actually implemented shortly after Magic signed that contract and won multiple titles. The difference between the 2022 Warriors and the Showtime Lakers is that the Warriors didn't exactly buy their way to a chip. The truth is, there's something more valuable than money. Take the Oklahoma City Thunder. They started their rebuild in 2019 by shipping off their star players Westbrook and Paul George. They got players like Chris Paul and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in return. Obviously, we all know what happened to Shai and how he blossomed. But what's also mind-boggling was Chris Paul's impact on Shai and the entire team.
He has been great, like you said, not only like a big brother, mentor, but just like a friend. He's always there to lean on. He was the first guy in my life that I was like close with, that achieved the things that I wanted to achieve. And I really leaned on him for like advice.
They then traded CP3 at the peak of his value for a package including a 2022 first-round pick, who turned out to be Chet Holmgren. They drafted another player too with the picks from the Clippers in Jalen Williams. These two would turn out to be the best players in the draft. A couple years after them getting along with each other better and better, they were standing on the biggest stage, holding the Larry O'Brien trophy, achieving something that teams have spent years trying to do. Both OKC and the 2022 Warriors already have a culture and a core group of players. They only spent money on extra pieces that could push them to the next level, unlike other teams that try to splurge to speed up the rebuilding process. So what can money actually buy you in the NBA? Well, there are a couple of things. Of course, money can get you elite talents. A lot of teams trying to save up first round and second round picks to trade for star players so they can have a chance to compete. But oftentimes they get too greedy and trade half the roster for another superstar. The rest of the team ends up filled with minimum contracts. Back in 2023, the Phoenix Suns traded their entire future for Bradley Beal, adding him to KD and Booker. These three salaries took up almost the entire cap, leaving no room for solid role players. Even though the Suns have the most expensive roster, they still weren't able to go past the first round of the playoffs 2 years later. it's very blatant why the team was doomed to fail. Both Devin Booker and Bradley Beal play the same position, so them sharing the court only hurt the team overall. They were also missing personnel like a capable center and a better point guard. So to avoid this, some teams choose to spend their money in another way, or you can say the better way. Instead of splurging on superstars, they keep a core group of players, develop them into stars, and get them the best role players possible. Jokic and Murray have been playing together for 5 to 6 years before winning the title in 2023, but a year prior, they signed key role players like KCP and Bruce Brown, not stars, but just the right pieces. Next year, they won it all.
Jokic just gets it off in time. It's up. Oh, it's good. Oh, what a pass from a 28-foot line. And
in fact, most teams win championships by using money this way rather than stacking superstars. So can money buy NBA championships? Well, sort of. Having money helps for sure. Obviously, if you're a broke team like the Wizards, you're not winning anything unless Bill Gates buys the franchise. But there's something way more important than money, and this applies in life too: wisdom. Most teams only spend money to buy names rather than to construct a winning roster. Instead of developing young players with lots of potential, they try to speed up the rebuilding process by trading them and future picks for a superstar who's on a stupidly large contract. In the process, the culture and the team chemistry are destroyed, and nobody knows how well the player will fit within the system as well. However, if a team has already been developing homegrown talents for years and they decide to spend money to get better pieces surrounding them, kind of like the Celtics acquiring Drew Holiday and Porzingis back in 2023, then it is perfectly justifiable, since this is how most championships are won and how dynasties are built. That's all for today. I'll catch you all next time.